Hello, welcome to the stream, everyone. As I mentioned on Patreon, this one's going to be a little different. Oh, yeah, before I get too ahead of myself, hope the sound is okay. Howdy, Omega. Howdy, Kitfox boy. I am glad you're able to finally make it to the stream for once. Hey, Sea Pilot, it begins indeed. As I was saying, normally in these streams we just answer some questions from patrons and draw some suggestions either from the chat or that have been put forward together already. This time I thought I'd try something a little different. As most of you know, I'm a teacher as well as doing all the other stuff I do, and I came across some kids doing this Hunger Games simulator, which is basically where you input a bunch of different names and you can put little pictures up for them as well. And yeah, so it was made by, well, there's a couple of them out there, but this particular one they had was the Brant Steele one, so brantsteele.net. And yeah, so I think at the time they were doing it just with teachers' names, and I sort of had a look at them. It's like, oh, that's kind of fun. So I mean, it's kind of limited, but yeah, it follows the sort of the theme of the Hunger Games, where it goes through each day and kind of randomly generates what happens to each character on each day. So what they do, and there's like special events that happen sometimes, and like who teams up with who and who kills who and all that kind of thing. It's kind of keeps track of it. And yeah, it looked kind of fun, so I thought I'd try it out with some of my characters. So just for a bit of background for anyone who wasn't involved with that bit, just on over on Patreon, everyone kind of put forward three characters that they wanted to see in the lineup of 24 to duke it out and fight against each other and see who comes out victorious. I mean, you don't have any stats or anything like that, so it's going to be a bit limited. It's not like they're going to actually have the abilities of what they have, but hopefully just the random nature of it should make some interesting stuff. And every round, if there's something kind of weird that happens, yeah, just in the chat, just say which of the scenes you want to see me draw, and I'll just draw one of those. So if someone kills someone, or if someone teams up, or some other weird thing happens, or some weird lore kind of starts to develop from just random things that happen, then yeah, we'll see what happens. But because it's really random, it's going to be difficult to know kind of how well this is going to go. So who knows? It might it might be a total disaster. It might not. I thought I just wanted to try it out. So yeah, I've got the lineup over here. I might just get that up. Oh, I'll also mention that I don't know anything about the Hunger Games, really. I kind of definitely missed the boat on that one. Not that it was particularly my demographic anyway, but the idea is pretty universal and pretty easy to get on board with, like most of these books and media that kind of gets huge. It's just easy to relate to, on a pretty basic level, and it's kind of cool. So before I get into the lineup, let me have a look at the chat. Let's go. Feeling better? Yeah, more or less. We'll see how I go. I was doing D&D, although I think I said we're doing the Power Rangers roleplay at the moment. So I was DMing that on Saturday night, and yeah, it kind of had to end it, maybe a little earlier than normal just because I was losing my voice, which is a pain. But yeah, I took a couple of days off work and I was pretty feeling pretty garbage, and even up until yesterday I was pretty bad, but I'm pretty okay now. I wish I'd been doing this in this weird euphoric state that I had when I was at some point of the sickness, and I was just like, whoa, it would have been a cool mood to be in for this sort of thing. You're a great teacher. Debatable. That's why the students love you. You shouldn't give up teaching. Uh, well, even if they like me, that's an awful lot of them that I won't say anything. I mean, this is a pretty low audience stream, but you never know. But not say anything that'll get me in trouble. But I am not going to continue teaching. In fact, I've only got 4 weeks left, and then I'm going to see what happens in the old life then. All right. May the Robo Dragons and lesbian rat geniuses ever be in your favor. All right. Yeah, we'll see what happens. There's been a few kind of in Patreon, a few kind of the districts that certain people are favoring to win or egging on to win. So we'll see if that pans out. Dealing with a cat I found, Moedak says, outside my apartment one night, and all the shelters are full. Very sure she belongs to someone because she's way too friendly and well behaved. Yeah, perhaps. Sometimes cats are just cool. District 8 all the way, baby. That is Oh yeah, Ashes and Peri Peri. Yeah, so there's some. Just take a break from chat for a sec. Yeah, some returns of some faces that haven't been seen in a while. Some of these since 2013, and even then only as little cameos. So we got some guys from the first Nuzlocke here from back in 2011. So yeah, this is kind of, I guess, a continuation of the crossovers. Yeah, why not? Let's make this a canon crossovers event based from the crossovers comics. All I know about Hunger Games is it was inspired by Battle Royale. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. One to one. Yeah, that was a Japanese film, I think. But yeah, basically the exact same thing as Hunger Games. But I mean, it's a concept that's been around for quite a while, I guess. Still in the dumpster of doom, just a little. Yeah. Oh, as we see down here, the skip bin of doom. Number one. Yep. Horus and Anubis. Well, they're gods, so that's probably probably pretty highly ranked to do fairly well in this. um, why do I have this horrible image of the characters in District 11 falling in love with one another? Well, I mean, they've got a similar vibe. Barrett and Shawl, they're pretty similar in some ways, even down to the color palette of their fur. So don't know what's going to happen out there in the battlefield or on the dome or whatever it is in Hunger Games. I don't know. I think it's a big dome or something. Evil Genius Union. What a nightmare. Yeah, well, I mean, they're probably just going to backstab each other. Let's be honest. I don't think that's going to pan out too well. I hope something really, yeah, like despite all odds, the randomness kind of makes some things make sense. Their egos would have trouble totally melding in the end. Yeah, I feel like they'd probably get to the end and then just backstab each other at the last second. So yeah, let's do a little quick rundown of who we've got here. Again, I don't really know much about the Hunger Games. Yeah, that's pretty much what I know. Based on Battle Royale, it's in a super bad future where everybody is like, I don't know, they sort of watch these gladiatorial Roman era esque fights between different districts, and they put a bunch of people together from different poor districts, and they have to offer tribute, which is the kind of the people they send in, and then they fight to the death until just one's left. So that's what's going to happen here. Yeah, so I won't go through this too long, it'll take a while, but yeah, District 1, we got Horus and Anubis from Industrial Revelations, I guess representing the 1864 main generations universe. So even though they're both gods, they're not really powerhouse ones. They're more like the tricksy ones, the smart, and the jump into people's bodies. District 2, we've got the In Our Shadowverse, represented by Brianna and Amethyst. So the naive but smart and not super smart but cunning duo. Hopefully that'll pan out and they'll compensate for each other's weaknesses. Marble and Sage, the two lab rats. On paper, that seems pretty powerful, but they're up against some pretty stiff competition. Both of them pretty powerful mind readers. District 4, two Pokemon from the second Nuzlocke, so representing the Sinnoh region? I don't know, whatever. Whichever Platinum was. Lyra and Fortune, the two kind of happy-go-lucky Pokemon, electric powers, fire powers, can't go wrong with that. District 5, representing the Lehman Nation, Hookturn and J-Runner, back together again. District 6, Multipass Radical, representing the first Nuzlocke, back in Hoenn, so 2011, probably the oldest characters here. Nearly Invincible, Skynet, Cyberdyne Systems, Leafeon, and an evil, chaotic evil, lawful neutral. We'll see how that pans out. District 7, we have a god and a random D&D person. So I can't believe someone asked for Diddle, who no one would know about him actually except for G in the chat. He's just a D&D. He was a Tabaxi bard who I had in a D&D campaign. And he was just in there because when I was doing that big picture of all the characters, I just had some space to fill. So I thought I'd put in some D&D people. But his main deal was that he just kept getting like messed up, just like just cursed and acid and all this stuff, which kept getting him like wrecked. But his looks and his charisma were so important. So his main drive in life was just to stay pretty and stay good at his job. So he's just spending on huge amounts of gold just getting himself back to how he used to look after being messed up by various things. And of course, Rod Serling, the Lord and King of the Distortion Zone. Nothing, they were just the two random, so they're in there together. What? Yeah, so District 8, we got the unlikely duo of Ashes and Peri Peri, the very, yeah, again, chaotic element and sort of voice of reason for the first Nuzlocke team. Here, District 9, we've got the two blue huskies, steals, whatever. He goes between being a wolf and a husky. It doesn't matter. He's a robot. Who cares? And we've got the Russian captain, or whatever she ended up being, and the the Twilight in the in-universe fake Twilight inspired vampire robot made from several different sorts of robots, who through various time shenanigans has had thousands of years to develop his AI, and he's basically indistinguishable from a person at this point. District 10, again, a weird, just a joke one. I think I mentioned on the thing. Someone said for Sobek, but I've actually got two Sobeks, so I didn't know which one it was, so I put them both in there. So we've got one Industrial Revelations, one Black and White, two Nuzlocke representative. District 11, we got the main antagonist from Stolen Generation, Professor Virginia Burrett, so super genius, and we have Emperor Shawl, also super genius, also antagonist, but of a different comic, both wearing white lab coats, both out for some sort of weird ulterior motive, probably. And District 12, we've got the daughter of the goddess of bad luck, Sia, and the fairly smart, completely not Amethyst, Zoe, who, it's sort of like Amethyst with social anxiety, I guess. Yeah, so super smart and has weird powers. So again, pretty similar to District 1. So yeah, we'll see what happens with this. Before we kick it off, I need to don... The other thing I know about Hunger Games is they're all run by rich weirdos who wear weird stuff. And I don't have any opportunities to wear this, so I'm going to chuck a big old hat on. I'm also wearing my weird Hugh Hefner-esque smoker's jacket, just to get into the spirit of someone commentating the Hunger Games with all these poor fools, and we'll see what happens. So before we kick it off, I'll just jump into chat and see how it goes. Where was I? Modak says, think the games were meant to be a distraction from the world's problems? Yeah, and so is this one. Anubis is going to win wearing someone else if he does. Yeah, probably. If this was like an actual thing, Anubis would win, but he'd probably win for some other district because his mind would be in the body of someone else. He'd probably just go straight for whoever the strongest one is, take over their body and just win, probably. If Fortune doesn't sing a song, I'll be devastated. Well, that's possible. Yeah, if you've gone through this simulator before, that sort of thing can happen. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see if that happens. I did do a little practice run of this just to see, to get the bugs out, to see if it would actually work, and it did. And in that one, Rod Serling ended up coming out on top, which is fine, bit boring, but we'll see what happens this time. Ski scrims. Yeah, they'll be able to find District 9 representatives pretty easily because they'll be just screaming constantly. I would worry still being distractible. These are YA novels, that sort of thing's encouraged, I feel like. Sobek meets Sobek, yeah. They're a great team. Sia knows all the best swears, so even losing would be fun, yeah. Sia knows a few swears. Yeah, she's had several hundreds of years to kind of make a collection of all of them. All right, so yeah, I think what we'll do is just go through. So the way when I did the practice one, of course, there's so many at the start. The first rounds are quite long because a lot of things will happen to all the characters. First, they start sort of dropping off. It goes a bit quicker, so we'll see. Probably might be a few that I'll draw from round one, and then it'll kind of get a bit quicker towards the end. So, let's go. Proceed. As the tributes stand on their podiums, the horn sounds. Multipass grabs a backpack, not realizing it's empty. Okay. I feel like he could have scanned for that, but that's okay. I guess he just wanted an empty bag. Oh, no, he didn't realize. Rod Serling, Sage, and J-Runner work together to get as many supplies as possible. Yeah, I suppose J-Runner's military training would give her that kind of idea. Sage, I have no idea. Rod Serling doesn't need anything. I guess he's probably just helping them out. Badaker runs away from the cornucopia. So I know what a cornucopia is. I don't know what it is in terms of Hunger Games. I know it's like a thing, like a horn full of just stuff. So I assume it's just like a big supply of stuff that they can go and grab. But Batico doesn't need anything. He's got his top hat. He's got his moustache. He's good to go. Browner runs away. Yeah, she probably would. Diddle runs away. Yeah, got to keep himself looking good. Can't run into any danger yet. Lyra runs away. Horace sets off an explosive. Yeah, he probably would. Killing Amethyst and Emperor Shawl right off the bat. Oh my god. Oh no. What? How did this happen? Unprecedented. Okay, well, I guess he does have sort of future sight, so I suppose he wanted to, he saw what was going to happen. He probably saw that these two were going to be an issue, both being fairly smart as well, so he just thought he'd kick things off and just get rid of his biggest competition. So yeah, Amethyst and Emperor Shawl are dead. Oh my god. Ashes runs away. Yeah, she probably knew something was going on. Sobek runs away. Marble runs away. Fortune finds a canteen full of water. He's a fire type. I don't know what he's on about with that. Sobek overpowers Anubis, killing him. I guess that he tried to take over her body, but then couldn't because the sunglasses stopped his powers, I guess. And then she just killed him because he's pretty weak otherwise. All right, yeah. So, going back to the Nuzlocke comic, if you hadn't read it, so Sobek as a species, the crocodiles evolved sunglasses to evolved prescription. What are they called? Transition lens glasses to compensate for a poor eyesight. But I guess that part of that also blocked that, or maybe she's got some Pokemon ability that stops that kind of thing. Maybe she's got, I don't know, insomnia or something. Yeah. My goodness. All right. Maybe Horace saw that happening as well, so he thought all the more reason to kind of, he's going to be on his own in District 1, better make sure he has a good chance on his own without Anubis. Peri Peri runs away. Yeah, he probably doesn't want to deal with any of this. Natasha snatches a pair of size. Yeah, she would. Virginia Barrett stabs Zoe with a tree branch. Oh no, I don't know if that was fatal or not, but yeah, killed her doppelganger, I guess. Because yeah, goodness me, yeah, there can be only one person who looks basically like this. Steel runs away, Sia runs away, they probably ran away together, Hookturn runs away. Okay, so how's Team Lima doing? They ran away, and I think she got some supplies. Yeah, okay, so they're doing pretty well. They've got some supplies, and they're going to head off. All right, okay. I'm just going to make a couple of notes here, because so much stuff's going to happen I'm going to forget. So I reckon the Horus and Amethyst and Shawl. I'll let you guys also pick some, but I'll make a note of some that are kind of noteworthy. Well, yeah, sorry, Omega. Yeah, it looks like Anubis is down already. So yeah, in the first opening minutes, the cornucopia being presented, we got like a couple of deaths already. Okay, so on day one, Hookturn fishes. Yep, again, he's got that training going well for him. Multipath Sia, Fortune, and Sobek hunt for other tributes. Man, Pokemon out for blood. Sobek camouflages herself in the bushes. I don't know how, but man, God, you kill one god and you think you just, hunting the predator or something. That's pretty great. Diddle forces Rod Serling to kill J-Runner or Brianna, who refuses to kill, so Diddle kills him instead? They're on the same team! What? I guess they didn't really have a connection, so he's like, yeah, I don't need you. So, alright. The random Tabaxi Bard, I guess he was pretty high level when we finished up, so he's got some pretty high level spells. And maybe Giratina didn't expect that, so for some reason, the Lord of the Distortion Zone, you'd think he'd be used to this kind of like ultimatum, kind of the host of the Twilight Zone. He's seen all sorts of stuff. So he should have been aware that this kind of ultimatum might come up, but I guess he wasn't ready for it, or maybe that's what he wanted to happen. So yeah, the two and our Shadow Reps still alive, and Rod Serling's dead, killed by a bard. Marble tends to sage his wounds. Oh, that's nice. That's cool. Well, I mean, I guess it's not, unless you're on Patreon, you haven't got up to the pages yet in the comic that explore a little more these guys' background or, connection to each other. But let's just say, for anyone coming in who hasn't seen up to page 125 or something, that is, it's something that, they have a stronger connection than you might expect. Steel and Lyra hunt for other tributes. Team Blue going on. Natasha goes hunting. Yep, again. So she's got a pair of scythes and she's going hunting. She's got to go hunt anyone who's got a sword and snap them in half. Perry constructs his shack. Yeah, practical. He would. Horace sees smoke rising in the distance but just decide not to investigate. He probably knows what it is anyway with his future vision. Virginia Burrett receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Who would that be? Unknown sponsor. She kind of is the unknown sponsor. I guess it's probably her little raccoon second in command back at the base. Batical goes hunting. He definitely would. Ashes hunts for other tributes. Yep. These are all kind of panning out pretty on track. Perry, he wouldn't hunt. He's just gonna in for the long haul. See what will happen. And we've got the two evil members of the Nuzlocke kind of, well, misunderstood. Whatever. But they're out hunting, so that's cool. Proceed. Monkey mutts fill the arena. This happened in the last one, and without reading too far down too quick, I know that this is like very deadly of an event. I don't know what monkey mutts are, but they must be pretty dangerous because when this happened last time, it killed like half of everybody. Lyra survives. Barrett uses Sage as a shield. Again, very apt. So I'm gonna write that one down. Barrett uses Sage as shield. Monkey. This, if I were to look on these notes in about a week from now, they would make absolutely no sense. But in fact, let's have a look up of what a monkey mutt is, just real quick. All right, so this is much from Indiana Jones and the Legend of the Crystal Skull. That's Shia LaBeouf. That's not what I want. I guess the Mockingjay ones? Okay, so it's... Could be any of this. So it look like they're just baboons, I guess. All right. Hate them. That's fine, though. I'll channel some IR baboon kind of nostalgia if I have to draw one of those. Where were we? Sage is a shield. Yep. Again, panning out pretty obvious. I don't know how he didn't see that coming, but I guess she can shield her thoughts. She's got magic eyes or something. Jane Runner dies from internal bleeding. No. Horace uses ashes as a shield from the monkey mutts. Again, the two, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the future sight, and again, probably Sir Ashes is a bit of a challenge. So yeah, just little tribute to the monkey mutts. So Horace, Ashes, monkey. Batical injures Perry and leaves him for the monkey mutts. Yep. No love amongst Nuzlocke members here. Sia injures Steel and leaves him for the monkey mutts. They're on a all right. I guess they've got had a few ups and downs in their relationship through the thousands of years that they've known each other. He'll probably be okay though. I guess she is like he'll survive this. Doesn't matter. Natasha survives. Fortune survives. Multipass survives. While running, Diddle falls over and grabs Brenner on the way down. The monkey mutts kill them. Marple uses Sobek as a shield from the monkey. Oh my god. Yeah, so this is just gonna decimate the whole thing, I feel like. Sobek dies from internal bleeding because Hookturn dies from internal bleeding. Okay, that's horrendous. Good god. Proceed. Yeah, 15 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. That's more than half of them dead in day one. Okay. All right, so I'm just gonna go over to chat and see if there's any of these altercations in particular that anyone would like to have a look at. Good lord. Okay, so yeah, there's a few other chat things that I hadn't read yet. Little Steel and Lyra becoming good friends. Yeah. Okay, gotta go back a bit. Looks like I missed a whole bunch of stuff. Head back here. Um. Okay, just need the three rat stooges watching from an audience. Yeah, they're probably there somewhere. Feeling lucky they didn't get picked as tribute themselves. Sage is very practical, kind of dumb, but practical. Yeah, yeah. He seems to fail upwards pretty well. So he's like a savant for surviving savant. Ouch, right off the bat. Yeah, this is I might do a second one because this one just went off the rails really quickly. Wait, they need to die in each other's arms, professing how much they hate each other. Not today. Wasn't expecting that. No, me neither. Ashes would make fun of people dying well. So I hope she makes it. Well, nope. Oh yeah, again, her black and white portrait basically no different for how she looks normally. Um, good lord. Um, welcome to the North. She made a shank out of a tree branch. Yep. Horus is surprised his trap works. Yes, but mm. Drawing idea one. Oh, sorry. Horus is surprised that his trap works. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll do the Horus one. Surprised that his trap works. Steer and Lyra becoming good friends. Yeah. Oh, as a drawing one. Yeah, I could do that too. Dido just casually murdering Giratina when he hesitates. Picture, if you will, Tabaxi being a jerk. The current page makes me love Sage a lot more and made me way more sympathetic to his intentions regarding Marble. Yeah, so Sage is pretty, like, I framed him a bit differently to how he actually is. And, like, if you go back to the first pages and sort of see how he's acting, hopefully it's recontextualized a little bit. Was kind of something I predicted as a possibility about Sage, but now pretty much confirmed. Yeah, there was little hints that that might be the case. They look like mutated monkeys from Doom. Okay, yeah. Dang, Horus is killing it. He was. Did he die? Can't remember. Don't. No, he's still. Yeah, he's still kicking. Um. Um. Future Sight is an edge, and Sia decides to make a better boyfriend toy later, I guess. Brutal. Yeah, we'll see if we just make her another one. Everyone being used as a shield. Yeah, a lot of shielding going on. Sage did die based on that. Yeah. Are you happy now? You signature. Yeah. All right. Well, okay. I'm gonna draw the Horus trap one because that was like the first one, and I sort of can't remember that. So, so yeah, with Amethyst and Shawl that he ended up killing, which is unbelievable. Okay, let's get into it. New layer. All right, I'll probably start doing questions from the Patreon as well while I'm doing it, but just for now, I'll sort of talk myself through it. So, man, Horus, have I? God, when was the last time I drew him? I know he's got like pretty. He's got like weirdly kind of big, sort of eyes. He's like, oh, this isn't right. I know this isn't right. Reference. What am I doing? I've got a reference right there. Well, I've got a little dots for eyes reference, I guess. Let's just move this temporarily over here so I can just have that on the side. Oh, it's not going to show me him because he's not on that screen and I can't go forward or back. So, never mind. I'll just get a reference. Oh yeah. All right. So let's do it. Was I completely incorrect? Yes, very much so. Couldn't have been more wrong. Okay. So yeah, this is back before I kind of diversified, whoops, the kind of the way I draw stuff. So he kind of, everyone had basically the same head shape. So let's just get rid of all of this. Start again. There, he's got that big kind of Sephiroth-ish sort of hair. So yeah, have him from the side. Oh, maybe not that much from the side. I'm just like, yeah, yeah, because in the book he like didn't really do too much. Kind of just hung around with Sobek and was taken out pretty quickly. I suppose most of the gods were in that comic, as Johan, who was not allowed in this because he's too OP, slowly regained his powers and abilities. Then again, everyone in this is pretty OP, but he's kind of like on the next level. I probably if he just had his post Industrial Revelations power set, it probably would have been all right. But yeah, he's not in there. No dinosaurs was the thing. Of course, yeah, it's pretty silly like what happens, but it just would be kind of like it doesn't make sense because they're just omnipotent and they wouldn't be in this anyway. They'd be more likely to be one of the hosts, one of the 1%. So yeah, we go around like this, and he's got some hair, and he's got his big eye stuff, which is not uncommon amongst characters of mine. Lost my page. He's up. There he is. Oh god, that's not how I go. I just went to my default without thinking. Sorry. I don't know. This setup I have somehow is the most awkward thing that possibly could exist. I can't physically, like someone made a mathematical algorithm to make it as impossible to have this book open while I'm doing this at the same time. There we go. So yeah, they actually come forward like this, and they go right around, and then they come forward like that. Actually, now that I'm putting crossovers 3 up on Patreon, Horus is in that as well, but in a much different style. He's just very kind of looks more like his hieroglyphics version. He's got a beak. Oh man, this is taking me back doing this old kind of cross-hatching style. I just automatically started doing it. But yeah, he's usually wearing like some white suit, which I assume even though he's in the Hunger Games, he would like still be doing. He's like, oh. Yeah, I was thinking of putting him in with Sobek because they're kind of the team that would generally go around together. But I wanted to have the two Sobeks together, so I ended up with Anubis, which is okay because Anubis and Sobek and Horus don't really have anything to do with each other either. So yeah, so that's that, and yeah, he's. Oh, actually, I never really thought about this too much, but yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to draw these people like, uh, I probably won't do it too graphic. So here is Shawl getting blown up. Two versions of them, and it was him, right? It was yeah, Amethyst and for sure. Pupil and teacher at some point back together again to get blown up by an Egyptian god, tale as old as time. She's over here. And, Uh, you're all blowing up, right next to the cornucopia. Starting this series off with a bang. And I guess we've got the kind of crowds back here. I don't know. I assume there's probably some crowds or whatever. Do you hear properly, I guess. That could be literally any rat I've ever drawn. Yeah, that's a bit better. All right. Yep. Surprised at the extent of the bombitude that he had going on. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. A little bit of cross hatching on amethyst. Yep. So there's one. Let's go back into chat here. Gonna need another Spoink Balls arc. Yeah, I think so. Kind of love how a lot of your earlier characters were all rocking their own variant of Sephiroth hair. Yeah, it was a different time, and different place. Oh yeah, something cool I got was a computer mat mouse pad that's a Final Fantasy IX themed, has Freya, Puck, and a bunch of. I never played that, but I know who Freya is because of course I do. Poor Horace, he doesn't really want to be doing this. He's actually just like, I thought they had shields. Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you assume that? Oh wait, I guess sure. Yeah. All right. So I might do one more just because like so much happened right at this moment. So let's get another one in here. I think Burrett using Sage as a shield, and yeah, I haven't drawn Burrett in a while, but how what would that even look like? I'm going to ignore like size differences for now and just assume they're all kind of the same size. So I guess like monkey mutt, what mutated monkeys? I don't know. I saw like a baboon kind of looking thing. So just go like something. It's like a reverse shot of the other one. Yeah, some big like monkey energy. One of my least favorite animals. So first of all, annoyed that so many characters, not annoyed, but like surprised that so many characters died right off the bat, and to monkeys of all things. So that's fine. People like monkeys, that's all good, but not a huge fan myself. I guess they can be drawn all right. In general, don't love them. Okay, it's a monkey, and then we've got uh, Sage somehow being. How would Burrett do it? She would have tricked him somehow. She's not really like a very kind of hands-on. She does have a bow. She canonically has a bow and arrow though. Very Katniss, I guess. Is Burrett the Katniss of this? I think maybe. So I think that tricked him somehow. I can't think. I've still got sickness brain. So he's just going. That doesn't. That looks like Geronimo Stilton. That doesn't look like anything. He doesn't look like that in any way, shape, or form. It's better. Yeah, he's quite like angular for a rat, I guess, just to make him a little different to the others. And this and oh god, how would he be getting tricked into this? Maybe he's like he realized at the last second. Yeah, I think that maybe he won't be looking this way. He'll be looking back towards Burrett, being like, "Trusted you." He told me that if I try to, I can because the simple monkey minds. I can use my mind powers to blow their brains up or something. Um, and he's like, Again, not the most physical of combatants. Yeah, I reckon because he's not the not the sharpest tool in the shed. Kind of like definitely relying on his mind reading powers, which he doesn't really even do that well. Well, he's a pretty good mind reader. He just kind of has no filter between thinking and talking, really. So he'll just say whatever he hears in people's minds, which is probably what gave Barrett the ability to find out a way to beat him anyway, since he's probably just been yabbering on about all the stuff he's been hearing, and she probably was hanging around with him to get some goss about other people or what they were thinking about, but he probably told her all that she needed to know, and he's of no longer any use. So he can throw him to the monkeys. Alright. I feel like I can probably draw her a little easier. But which version? Because she's looked pretty different a lot of the time. This tiny nose, because that was the style at the time. And just a smirk. This is kind of looking like... Oh, looks like some sort of surfer bro at the moment, so I'll have to change this up a little bit. But maybe I guess it would be like peak Barret, so that was probably like her regenerated form in restored generation when she kind of gets turned young again. But again, back before hair was a separate thing to ears, so hair is ears, and I think she just had like just kind of kept going back here. She's pretty close to like gloat about this. I guess she just assumes that the monkey is going to be satisfied for the time being and not really be kind of chasing after her anytime soon. Crossed arms. And lab coat. Seems like I can't have a villain without a lab coat. Oh, tangentially related to that, I'll just for some reason thought of this and might as well mention it. When I'm doing the Power Rangers roleplay, and I sort of do a lot of the voices in that one because it's really silly. And I had a voice for a character that I made up called the Spybrarian. And when I did the voice for that, one of the members of the group just like couldn't stop laughing and said, "What are you laughing at?" And apparently, when I was doing that voice, I sounded exactly like Dr. Doofenshmirtz from Phineas and Ferb. And yeah, so again, lab coat villain just made me remember that. So yeah, apparently when I'm trying just to do a generic like librarian, like an angry librarian, it sounds exactly like Dr. Doofenshmirtz. So I've got that one in the back pocket just in case I need to cosplay as him at any point. Uh, no, she doesn't have that. What are you doing? She doesn't have a power set. She doesn't need it. But yeah, she's there. Yeah, let's get a little bit of crosshatch. Go all out with this one, I reckon. Let's just really get some crosshatch shading in this. By all out, I mean very slightly more effort than usual. And again, that sort of the SG style kind of was that. So this. Oh no, having all the characters together like this is giving away my terrible secret that I reuse designs are quite a lot. Like back in the day, I did the thing that sort of, I guess, Osamu Tezuka did with like all of his comics, like Astro Boy and all that sort of stuff, where it's almost like each different franchise or each different like world is kind of like a movie with or a TV series within a bigger world, and there's like actors who are playing them. So I kind of had that as well. So Barrett was actually the same character as Zoe originally, and then they kind of became different characters later on when they sort of got a bit more developed. And yeah, there was a lot of kind of similar. Like Novus was basically the same as what Steel was back in those days, but he changed a lot since then. But yeah, we got this. That changed a bit later on. So the more modern comics have more distinct characters, but definitely in the early ones, there's a lot of similarity between different characters. And just because I wanted to draw ashes, I think I might draw the ashes one. I think actually, because I'm gonna forget this, I probably should make a little note of like what this stuff is. So, Borit uses Sage as shield against monkey nuts. Okay, and getting back to this one. Horus kills Amethyst and Shawl with explosive. I may go back and write this in English since I am aware that only I am able to read my own writing. So let's go. So yeah. and yes, Horus again throwing ashes to the monkey mutts. I do not know how he did that, but yeah, he's high on power after his impressive kill tally. 3 in day one. Unprecedented. Unprecedented because there's only been one of this. So yeah, I think by this point he's come to terms with his role as like maybe he's actually got a chance at this thing. So yeah, he's really going all in. So yeah, I feel like he doesn't have his surprised eyes. This was definitely premeditated. He saw this one coming. Got this. And I'm so sad that Ashes. I really wanted her to win the whole thing. I think that would have been pretty cool. I wanted to see just more Ashes murders. It's been a grip since she's had a chance to really kill anything. So yeah, Sephiroth hair. Really got to thread that needle between covering up too much of his markings and making him look like he's got a bit of an old receding Sephiroth line. There we go, and there. He's a bird, whatever. He's got feathers, I think. Yeah. Actually, I guess on the Egyptian whatever, we finally did watch the Tom Cruise The Mummy recently. And from what I had heard about it, I expected it to be like the worst thing in the world, and it was to some extent, but there's a couple of things worse. It wasn't the worst. It wasn't good, but yeah, it was entertaining. We were able to watch it a little bit and kind of get a few giggles out of it. And yeah, it was all right. I didn't supremely hate it. So then I kind of got on a an undead Egyptian kick. And I bought a bunch of the undead Egyptian team for that Rumble Slam wrestling miniatures game that I really like. So yeah, I've been on a bit of an Egyptian kick. So yeah, it's cool to be drawing Horus a couple of times. How did he do it? I reckon maybe he just like dodged out of the way at the last second, and then Ashes was probably trying to kill him or do the same thing to him, but then he like dodged it. So she's like, what? As she's heading, I mean, it might be one of those ones I've got to make a little bit taller, but for now, um, just like just utter rage at this turn of events. How do those markings go? I think it's like this. And she's got this. Speaking of looking like a receding hairline, the original, like the Mighty Anna design, does have a bit of that, but Ashes fudges it a little bit. And this bit probably shouldn't be coming that far forward normally, but I think it looks better that way. So like this, and before I get too into the weeds of this head, I should probably make sure that the rest of it's going to sort of make sense. That's not a mouth, by the way. So yeah, I feel like she's like diving forward to sort of push him into the way of the mutts, and then he kind of, psych, I can see the future, and did this. And yeah, so I guess the hair's going to come all the way back here. And make sure that looks kind of normal. Yeah, forward, backwards, forwards. Yeah. All that. Oh, man, it's kind of nice drawing these Pokemon again. Maybe we should do another Nuzlocke. It was always really hard with the Patreon because I kind of, I really like doing both. I like doing the Pokemon stuff and my own original stuff, but I can't really do both at once. So I know, like, I feel really bad about like alienating a lot of people who came to watch my stuff because of the Pokemon stuff, and I haven't done any of that in a really long time. But I do want to at some point, if that's still a thing that happens, or that would be good. Yeah, I'm eventually going to do the Silenced Revolver Silver kind of spin-off. I think Kit's story is probably done, so we're changing it up a little bit into some other stuff. Because I hadn't actually played any Pokemon in a long time, but I did play Scarlet, and that was a lot of fun. So I do Pokemon. I just need another clone. Or I just need to make this the only thing I do somehow. Oh, might as well, yeah, good a time as any to mention. The clock is ticking down to me being able to quit teaching. So I've got 4 weeks to go. And then what I'm going to do is do a little experiment. There's no real expectation either way, just options. I'm not kind of like hanging on my hopes on the stars, as Savage Garden once said. But my thing that I would love to do the most is just get basically about double the amount of support that I've got at the moment, and that would give me enough that I would be able to just do comics and nothing else, which would mean I'd be able to do like 4 or 5 colored pages a week, and that'd be like massive. So I'd be able to get through the stories a lot quicker, and then all the other ones that have got like rattling around in my head, I'd be able to get out there. So yeah, so I mentioned that at this point. That's the goal, or the updated plan, or whatever. If I can get to like, oh yeah, I did notice. Man, I feel like I'm going off on a lot of tangents, a lot of non sequiturs today. But that's okay. I've got that sick energy. But I did notice that, oh, I got another patron. That's a $1 patron. And then I realized why. I was on $419, and that little $1 pushed me over the edge into blazing territory. So yeah, got the big 420 on the old donations there, which I think probably is going to like dissuade anyone from ever donating again to take it off that magical funny internet number. To which I say, why not try to get it up to 690 for another one of those ones. Just a thought. Anyway, back to this. Yeah, man, doing the black actually adds quite a lot. I forgot about that. I didn't use like back in the Stolen Generation days. I didn't used to do a lot of the solid black shading. But after Industrial Revelations, I started doing that, and it's like, yeah, it adds quite a lot of weight to things. So I feel like he's going to be like, hey. Really got to get a white suit. Really like those. Right, so yeah, I feel like Industrial Revelations was probably the most fashionable comic that I ever did. Everyone was really bringing their A game. Really had tie. Did he have a bow tie? I think he had a bow tie. Yes, he had a black bow tie. Yeah, real lot of fun. Yeah, I mean, you can't have something set in 1864 and not have everyone just dressed to the nines. Oh yeah, he had his little undervest. Yeah, and uh yeah. Get rid of that line. It looks kind of odd. Yeah. There she's diving on through. And there'll be another monkey mud up here, I guess. Oh, I guess there'll be like, oh, it could be sort of off screen, but I guess I should. Yeah, the angle that I did this doesn't make a lot of sense in terms of putting a monkey over there, but I guess it'll just be like a implied monkey. Let's go. Yeah. Monkey? Is that a monkey? Something. Yeah. I think I mean, it's pretty much Ash's own fault at this point. I feel like you reap what you sow, murder. And then, yeah, I think there are probably like a few other kind of grabby, grubby monkey hands up around here. What? Like a dinosaur hand. What am I doing? It's supposed to be like kind of the little folds in the skin, but dinosaur hand because dinosaurs have hands. Anyway, monkey mutts. And then, yeah, so Horus uses. That's an unknown. It's not even. Horus uses ashes as shield against the monkey mutts. Yes. All right, so back into chat, see if there's any others that anyone wants to see. Otherwise, I might go to the next round. Excuse me. Oh, there's a lot. All right. Everyone being used yet. Yes. I feel like maybe this round of Hunger Games, yeah, there might be some spoink balls. We'll see. Boop. Long overdue revenge for what you did to Madagascar. Yeah, for sure, probably. I should go low. Yeet. All right. Man, his future sight works against opponents, and it also works in predicting future slang from hundreds of years in the future. You're like, what does that mean? I'm from 2011. It was at that point Sage realized that was awful. Yeah, you'd think he would have read her mind about that, but he's trusting, kind of. Tied him to a wooden shield and used him. Yeah, he's pretty small. Surely could. You could do young Mecha Eyes Barrett since she was in rough shape before. Oh yeah, from like the 2003 era. Oh well, a bit late now. I guess I can go back and change it. It's nice to see Barrett again. One of my favorite Kitfox villains. Thanks. Yeah, I like her as well. She had a lot of good stuff going on. A lot of good motivation. A lot of pretty decent arc. She's 100% the sort who would feed morons to monster for funsies. Well, yeah, she more or less did that for her whole life as her family's whole thing. If we're still talking about Barrett here. If I had a nickel, I was wondering why I couldn't find this on YouTube until I checked Patreon. Bruh, dumb. Nah, we're all dumb around here. Welcome to the club. Me more than everyone else. Possible caption, go get him, Tiger. You'll be just fine. Oh, for the last one? Yeah, all right. I'll try. If not, I think it works for that one anyway, so. Be just fine. Also, I think a tiger might be the only animal that I've actually not ever had a character of. Well, not really, but it's one of the more common ones. I've had some pretty random ones. It'd be funny if Ashes isn't even scared, just kind of pissed off. She got roped into this whole thing. Yeah, I think that's the case. She doesn't really look scared. Face here. Gonna have time for questions? Yes. Probably. I'll do, yeah, as I'm doing some of these, I'll probably have to do a couple of questions. Maybe not as many as usual. But yeah, after I do a couple of rounds of this, maybe I'll do just one round. Looks like we're nearly halfway through already. Feels like it's really one of my favorites. I know it's not your original story in a sense, but you really inject a lot of interesting dynamics and a wonderful humor. Thank you. Australian humor is kind of a bit of a weird one to get for a lot of people, but I'm glad it translates okay. Now that sounds like a plan. For what? Hey, congratulations. I'm really glad you're getting there. I'm going to jump to the 90 tier if my health ever decides to cooperate. Awesome. That'd be fantastic. But yeah, no rush, obviously, and fantastic if you can, but it's still great what you're already doing at the moment. So thanks again so much. And yeah, sorry to hear those health woes are still there. We've all got something, but yes, hang in there and best wishes from me. Need to think on what to ask for next month. Oh, yeah. Well, I may not get to all your questions this time, so some might still carry over. I forgot to finish submitting my request for this month too. Yeah, it's fine. There's still plenty of time this month to go. Anubis dies, and Horus sees his dead body. Yeah. How did he die? Someone remind me how he died. While I, oh, he was. Oh no, he killed by Sobek. That's right. Killed by a different god. Oh, art for next month. Up next. Oh, no. Oh, right. Okay, cool. Yeah, okay. I'll just do that real quick. Yeah, he got overpowered by the Pokemon Sobek. So, however, all right, I'll do that one just because I don't even know how that happened. But so I'll do Sobek in here as well, just because she was like part of it. But she won't be like the main thing. But yeah, I feel like Horus would be pretty annoyed. So um, big Kamina glasses. I'll see if I can do her from memory. Actually, for some reason, even though she wasn't in the comic very long, I can sort of remember her vibe pretty well. It's probably mainly just going to be the I guess the markings that are going to be a hassle. I don't remember how the crocodile markings really go, but I feel like she'd be like, everyone's got the Wallace hands in this one. We turn that down a little bit. Does she even? No, she probably only has like 2 fingers. Actually, now that I think about it, maybe 3. I'll hedge the bets. Yeah, so because I'm thinking a little more about the pictures this time, I guess I'll do some questions in a bit, but for the moment, I'll probably just be talking through the picture process. But like this, and kind of got this, and yeah, I might actually just have to go back to the. Oh no, she's still alive. Is she still alive? No, she died. Oh yeah, she's got the big frill and the bit around there. Okay. I think it goes, yeah, in real life it's a bit more angular than that. In real life, he says. In the comic. Does she have teeth? No, she didn't have teeth in this. And then the markings that I remember because I remember someone left a comic at one point on the a comment on one of the Nuzlocke pages saying that they were like, and this is fine and everything. I was just kind of surprised that it was something that that might happen. I guess the markings of the crocodile, how it kind of looks like a bikini, was sort of like against their sensibilities or a bit too crude or something. It's like, okay, I guess it kind of looks a bit like that, but this is just like an animal that has markings on it. Like it's no different if I didn't have the markings there. I guess because it was just looked like that pattern. The pattern was like problematic. I don't know. But anyway, that happened and I wasn't entirely sure how to deal with it. But yeah, she's like, ooh. But yeah, I feel like that, as I said before, the canon of this might be that Anubis tried to take her body, but either her Pokemon ability or the sunglasses, which didn't exist. Wait a minute, sunglasses exist in the 1900s. They probably did. They blocked his mind powers, just like Cyclops's. Yeah, she's got ruby quartz prescription transition lenses, which block mind powers. Not that Scott Summers' eyes block mind powers, I don't think. then again, I've never seen Xavier take him over. Who knows? But they block beams. They can block. If you can block a beam, you can block a brain beam. Yeah, I guess I better hustle actually. It's not a huge amount of time. But yeah, since more than half the people are dead already, I mean, I've done the math, I've run the numbers. That means that it's okay for the stream to be more than half over already. That is just maths. I've become addicted to doing the black shading. Doesn't take much longer, I guess. And then she's pretty small, actually. I probably drew her too big, but she's one of those like ones who's kind of annoying where the Pokemon is actually entirely like dark color, and I really dislike doing the crosshatch shading over everything. It just like looks a bit too much, which is why if you read them, the Nidoqueen shiny goes from being like fully crosshatched to not, because it kind of gets in the way of other lines and looks kind of yeah, I feel like Horus would probably be like out for blood at this point, because he's like seeing his fellow god kind of like the dust. I go from drawing this guy none times in the last 20 years to, no, probably 2010, 13 years to 3 times in like half an hour. Yeah, I just don't do a great job here, but I mean, yeah, it was his own fault. Let's see. He's on the ground. What is that? Angular, angular, angular. Gotta get myself back into my 2009 mind. Yeah, no, it doesn't go spiky at the top. Self-respecting Egyptian would have spiky top hair. There we go. I mean, yummy, I guess. Yeah, he's like, oh my god, it's just like a pyramid. There we go. Sorry about these line thicknesses. He's like, no. Guess he died in like the typical like dead pose. He also has this, I think. It's always hard doing eye markings when you've got like dots across his eyes. So I will just go into some of Mordak's questions. So I've just got one in my mind for the eventuality that I can just quickly answer some of them. Let's go back over here, Patreon for a second, and the messages. Questions for today. Okay, what was the council that Russet mentioned on page 15? Is it referring to humans who need to keep an eye out on the pylons, or a squirrel government thing? I think that was just a squirrel government thing, but yeah, I'll get back to that when I have a better answer. But yeah, I think it was just that. Still confused about animal communication when you have moments like when Lena is in the hole and trying to pull the captain up top of being one of their soldiers without any direct visual. Care to elaborate? Well, oh man, 2 stumpers right off the bat. So yeah, the lack of visuals, it's not like the end of the world. And You can get by without it, but it makes things a lot easier. It's kind of like the difference between like having just text and like inferring emotion and stuff from it, and then actually hearing someone say it, where you kind of get like the nuances of their language and stuff. So the language does work mostly like in a very basic, like as long as you're not doing anything outside like a literal like thing, then you can probably get away with it. But if it gets sort of complex and abstract, like language does, but because of what Lena was saying, it was more just factual stuff. And that stuff, even though it's difficult to get across without a visual aid, it's okay. But it's not so okay when you're dealing with like fairly complex ideas or whatever. But yeah, so there's been plenty of times when there's been like no visual part, but it just adds a lot to it. Like it's possible to communicate that way, but not the best. Um, yeah, yeah. So I won't answer these ones just out. I'll just read them just so I can have them in my mind. What side is the driver's seat for most vehicles? Notice the squirrels having it on the opposite side. I'm used to on page 50. A computer gauntlets one arm or both arms, allowing one to swap between which has to operate the screen. Ask before I sometimes see consistencies which arm they're holding up. Is it possible for a newer flare to be used on two users at once if both fit in it, or is it only meant for one occupant? Okay, yeah. So if the chance comes up, I'll answer some of those. But for now, oh, I guess I'll finish for us. And he's like, man, he's pretty bit thicker than usual, but it's all right. Don't need to go too much of this. You get the idea. Bow tie is non-optional though. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Turn off. Turn on. Okay. So let's head back into this. Oh, let's check chat real quick one time because I'm always bad at doing that. Whoop. The power of sunglasses compels you. Yeah. Compels you to die in the Hunger Games. So the Pokemon Survey is one of my favorite slightly off-model versions of a Pokemon you ever did. Thank you. Yeah, I kind of like doing lizards in like a certain way, and they get to kind of just default kind of go to that. And yeah, the crocodile design's kind of a bit weird. I don't really like it, so I had to change it a little bit. But thanks. So many people died. They sure did. I mean, Hunger Games still less of a death count than the Nuzlocke, but quite lot quicker. See, you see a man walking down the street with that hat, you know he's not afraid of anything. Exactly. Sometimes I wear this hat on walks to the beach. Um, oh come on, just adorable and wasn't ever suggested that I saw. Yeah, well, that's what I thought, but I don't want to really like get on people's cases for different opinions about things, unless it's very not good. Um, the only innuendo she was involved with was Blip Blip speaking. Yeah, that wasn't her bad anyway. That was his problem. Blip Blip, yes. Been thinking of jokes for fanfic, and best one I get was last year call humans going super seance. Yeah, that's something that Brianna would say. Speaking of Blip Blip humor, yo, I finally caught another stream. How are you doing? Oh, hey, welcome, Lucky Volp. Yeah, doing good. Different stream this time. We're doing a Hunger Games. So far, in the first day of the Hunger Games, 15 people have died out of 24. So we're about to kick off the next round. So let's do it. That's a good point to get back into business. Business of keeping people distracted from the terrors of life. So yeah, once again, in memorandum, many people. All right, let's get this up so I can actually see what's going on. Proceed. Hunger Games, night one. Marble lets Fortune into her shelter. That's nice. Probably for warmth, honestly, because he's Lyra, Sia, and Batical sleep in shifts. That is a bizarre team up. I don't know what their connection is. Like, they're probably sleeping in shifts to guard themselves from each other somehow. Multipass is unable to start a fire and sleeps without warmth. He doesn't need it. He's a robot. Horace convinces Burret to snuggle with him. Well, yeah, the lapels would even match up. So that's perfect. Well, that's nice. You find romance in the strangest of places. he's gone mad. Like his self-confidence is through the roof. So he's finally, after killing like four people, finally worked up the nerve. And I'm sure Barrett probably respects that he just casually killed a bunch of people. So good for them, I think. Natasha receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor, the Russian government. Um, she didn't. She's got two sais and a hatchet, and whatever. She did something else as well. I can't remember, but okay. Everyone, I guess, is just huddling together after the absolute bloodbath of the day. The cornucopia is replenished with food supplies, weapons, and memoirs from the tribute's families. Batical decides not to go to the feast. He doesn't have anyone he cares about. Also, he doesn't need food. The symbiote gives him all the nourishment he needs. Marble decides not to go to the feast. Yeah, she's probably a bit traumatized about what happened the first time. Natasha and Virginia Barnett track down and kill Horace. They were just okay. She had definitely an ulterior motive. She was just involved with Horace to really find out some stuff about him so that she could team up with Natasha, who those guys kind of know each other, to kill him because she definitely had no intention of developing any romantic attachment. She just wanted to get rid of this clear threat and team up with the other threat. But she'll get her eventually, I'm sure. Sia and Lyra decide to work together to get more supplies. Yeah, okay. I mean, Lyra's always wanting to be everyone's friend, so that makes sense. And Sia will kind of be everyone's friend as well, as long as they're not too uppity about things, and Lyra's pretty much not. So yeah, they probably make a pretty decent friendship. Multipass spears Fortune in the abdomen. Man, everyone who like had a bit of a snuggle really paid for it on the next day. So Multipass's cold-blooded Cyberdyne programming kicking in and kills his fellow Pokemon Fortune. You hate to see it. So okay, Multipass kills one. So of these, I feel like I'll make a note of okay. Obviously, Natasha. Oh, I forgot to put Natasha's last name in. And Barrett tracked down Horace. And oh yeah, Multipass killing Fortune. I don't know if I'll draw that, but I'll write it down anyway. Multipass spears him with a leaf, I guess. Again, probably he just ran the numbers and realized that eventually a fire type's probably going to be a pretty big threat against him. So, and he's got pretty high defense. I don't think his special defense is anything incredibly good. So, Fortune probably would win in that fight. So, honestly, that's a pretty pragmatic move by Multipass. Sia stalks Virginia Barrett. Yeah, fair enough. I think someone should. Radical received medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Who would give him anything? All right, maybe Kit. I don't know. Natasha and Lyra work together for the day for some reason. Multipass collects fruit from a tree. I don't know why he would do that. Marvel practice her archery. Okay, maybe she's the Katniss after all. Again, everyone really playing it coy. Only 2 deaths this time. So Horace and Fortune. Oh yeah, I just noticed we've got Fancy Free and one of the 1700 Rattatas in here as well, but that's okay. That's nice. All right, so I'll do the Horace death just because I feel like this whole thing so far has been Horace's story and it ended very abruptly. So let's get down in here. So yeah, Chevka and Barrett killing Horace. Track down and kill him, in fact. So Chevka has like 50 weapons. She has a hatchet and 2 sai. I reckon like Barrett would have found out like his secret, I guess, in the snuggle time. So probably just like she was probably just able to distract him enough by making that sort of impression on him in the previous night. But yeah, so I reckon she was like distracting him, and then while he was distracted and his future sight was clouded by all their potential futures together, clouding out his vision of anything else, She from behind, really up from behind is Natasha Chepka and kills him with one of her various weapons. We've got borrowed up here, and then a very betrayed Horus. I feel like the Horus, he really has having it rough in this kind of unrequited love situation. He was really after Sobek for a while, and then that was really going nowhere, and still wasn't. Oh, I think she said like not in a million years, and he's like, okay, I'll wait a million years then, because they're gods. They've already lived longer than that. So yeah, and then he's like, could you? Yeah, it's like, ah. I think his beak kind of has a bit of extra notches in it, actually, if I recall. Does it? Yeah, it does. Yeah, that's a bit more like it. And he's got his quite large eyes, and like I think he's got his like they're all. If I got enough detail on this, be like kind of sparkly and like, oh, we had something special. Yeah, I mean, and I did he? He didn't die. No, he survived. So yeah, he was still around after the events or spoilers for a comic I did 20 years ago or something. He is alive, so he's well and truly on the chopping block to have this be a canon death, which it isn't. So, my God, they're the weirdest couple. I'm really glad that this is how it ends. So we've got his hair. Who am I to judge, honestly? Actually, I take that back. They can do what they want. They can set each other up for murder as much as they want. But yes, the comeuppance finally arrives. Um, Horus, irredeemable. Too many murders. He cannot have a redemption arc in this one. This is too much of a standard narrative for that to happen. Not that I know anything about Hunger Games, who knows? But yes, he's like, he was like reaching in for a hug, or he's like, he was reaching out for help, and she's like, who do you think orchestrated this whole thing, you foolish fool? I guess let's see. I didn't do his head angle right for like an arched back, really, but I guess this is kind of as good at. I don't like the position of those hands. Looks like he's getting a bit. bit big anyway. So yeah, it's like. But why? I feel like Hatchet. I feel like that's Chevka's like Spetsnaz training coming in. Really Hatchet in the back territory. And she's like, they tracked him down. So I guess he's sort of somewhere, and she's back here. And really, now her hair, I have to remember that. How did it go? In the original comic, it was just like my default sort of hair, but I think in later ones, it's more like this. I haven't got a printed out book of a restored generation, so I don't really know or remember. I do know she has like the kind of typical sort of wolf husky markings like this, and a ponytail, sure, tying it up. Um, and yeah, she came with a full full like admiral whatever regalia. Gotta look good while you're killing. We chucked that. There's probably a bush. There's going to be a hill, which ended up being a bit bigger than I anticipated. So from behind the bushes, from downtown. And I guess she's got a bandolier of sighs as well on her back for some reason. Yeah. Oh well, at the very least he got drawn a bunch, so he can't complain about that. A bit smaller for the hatching. Oh yeah, so can multiple people use a neural flare at once? No, not really. I mean, I guess it's possible, but it's not designed for that. You could probably, if you had like a small enough people, you could probably both go in at once. And so it's sort of, actually, no, no, I'm gonna rescind that. I'm gonna say it's not possible. Because sort of it sends things in from particular kind of positions into your brain, and it's just sort of one dose, I guess, if you will, of like the electrical stuff that sort of stimulates things and rewrites neural patterns and stuff like that. So everything's coded to a certain sort of burst of energy. So I think if you tried to do it like with more than one person at once, it either wouldn't work very well, or it would send stuff to the wrong parts of the brain, or it would just give you half and half knowledge. So it wouldn't work very well, probably. Now, while I'm doing that, let's go over another. Oh yeah, the gauntlets, left or right or whatever. Yeah, so if you do see any discrepancy with like whether they're on the left or right wrist, I try to be pretty consistent with it to a person. Like the same person will have it on the same wrist all the time, but it's sort of just determined by. And some people have two of them. Like sometimes Seed had two of them. Like when he was a kid, I guess because he was a bit paranoid, he just wanted to make sure he had quick access to help, as fast as possible. So he had actually one on both wrists. And Amethyst is like ambidextrous, so she's seen using them on both wrists at different times. So yeah, she has two. They're usually in both, but and they sort of bring up the same information. Or you can, it's like having two monitors. You can like map stuff to different things. The computer itself is in both, but if you have two, they sort of can talk to each other like Wi-Fi sort of thing. But yeah, in the future, most people will just have one, just because they're kind of impractical if they're not part of the suit. Like they're not that heavy, but they still weigh something. So, and that no new ones are being made. And if you can get by with just one, you're just gonna have one. And depending on which hand they're on is sort of like the handedness of the person. But some animals are a bit more ambidextrous than others, like Amethyst, I guess, in particular. But even just more so than humans, animals are fairly a bit more ambidextrous than us. They don't really favor one side more than the other. And so they will sort of swap between sometimes, but generally favor one. But you'll see pretty commonly they'll have them on all sorts of wrists. But yeah, they're not different. So both are basically the same in the way they work. It just, yeah, that's why you can have one and on either wrist, or you could have both. It doesn't really matter. Both's more of like a redundancy kind of situation. It's like if you have the capacity to do it, you might as well. So yeah, there's that one. I'll probably shade in those bushes for the next question. Driver's seat, what side? Well, the so the squirrel vehicles are really the only ones that have a side. All the other mechs like Striders obviously are driven from the middle, as are all the other mechs in the thing. And I did not think very much about the side of the road that it's on. So even though it's set in Canada, the driver's side is on the other side, because that is where Australians drive on, and so that would have just been default what I would have defaulted to. So I didn't really think about what I was doing it, but the reason why it's on the other side is because of that. And I guess the patterns or whatever were sort of sent down from human knowledge of how a car should be laid out, because clearly the squirrels and the raccoons have that. Whatever they got that from, I guess they had it on the other side, and they kind of built up their streets and stuff after the fall of the Twilight Shroud accordingly. So yeah, they drive on the wrong side according to most people. Right side according to more me. So I'll see if there's any other ones. I'll just head back to the chat. Okay, let's just get back up here. Most awkward snuggle in history, indeed. Probably won't be drawing that one, maybe, unless someone requests it. Time to bury the hatchet. Yep, that's what happens. He's gonna bail when he finds out he holds the patent on youth grenades. Uh, indeed. Didn't see that coming, no. Sorry, Omega, that's both God boys. Yep, yep. Down for the count, unfortunately. Extermination protocols engaged, yeah. Multi-passes out for blood. Brony purge initiated, yep. Man, he's got a lot of subroutines. They didn't like being near a fire type, indeed. Snarly Whiplash, Evil Bat has a few fans. Oh yeah, he's still about, I think. I like Marble practicing archery, yeah. I feel like if this followed any sort of actual logic, she would probably win this. 3 equals 50. Tully. You have to remind me what that's about. Okay, you're drawing a scene from what's being generated. Yeah, I got the idea from some students who are doing this with teachers' names. I think Burrett tried explaining the meaning of life to run out Horace's future sight so Nat could shank him. Probably. Somehow I had a feeling Burrett would kill him somehow. Yeah. Yes. Hey, I won't object to some karma. Ash is one of my all-time favorites of Donaganda heroes. Yeah, they buried the hatchet. They sure did. How you Americans say, I must ask you. How you Americans say, I must ask you a question. Yes, indeed. It's okay if you left sit down from me, so I'll forgive you driving the wrong side too. Yeah, through hard, hanging off the ceiling. Japan does too. Yellow will do. Okay, so just because it looks like we're getting close to the end, I'll probably just head back in and keep Hunger Gaming. I'll just get another Mordak question. Did Shawl only find the other neural flares following Lena's death? I figured he'd want to use one on her to keep her around if he had. Make it over there. Shawl flares Lena death. Yeah, so if I got a moment, I'll answer that one. But real quick, I'll add a couple of little shadings. Whoops. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I hate it when the crosshatch goes over lines. It makes everyone look like they've got, like really chapped lips. Okay. Let's head back in. Yes, in memorandum again. 2 people only. Let's go. Next round. Proceed on your way to oblivion. Sia quietly hums something. Seems a bit out of character, but that's alright. Radical, Natasha, Virginia, Barrett, and Lyra tell each other ghost stories to lighten the mood. Oh man. They'd all have some pretty decent, like, horror stories, I guess. Except Lyra. She's, I don't know. She's just there for something to do, probably. Multi-pass questions his sanity. Yeah, after killing one of his fellow Pokemon. And like the brony subroutine combining with the fire one, like his brain is scrambled. I'm getting real like original series Star Trek vibes, where his computer brain's overloaded by all this counter logic and everything going on. He's probably like frozen and he's like smoke coming out his ears. Marvel passes out from exhaustion. Too much archery training, girl. Gotta slow down. Okay, again, no deaths. Lyra sees smoke rising in the distance, but decides not to investigate. You'd think she'd go, probably assume that Fortune has something to do with that, but he's dead, so I guess she doesn't know. I don't know. I guess she might. Maybe that's why she was hanging around with the other group. She'd be pretty cut off about that. Barrett, Natasha, Batical, Marvel, and Sia hunt for other tributes. What other tribute? There's only 2 other tributes besides that group. It seems a bit unfair. Multipass dies from hunger. Oh my god. So he got like analysis paralysis and just like questioning his sanity. Oh, I guess that also goes on from the original series Star Trek. Once they start questioning that, they end up dying. They just end up killing themselves in like a logical loop. So yeah, I think he just like got frozen and then died from his own inability to reason out the logic that's happened around him. So yeah, Multipass, no one could kill him, but he was hoisted by his own petard. Proceed. One cannon shot, multi-pass. Died from a logic loop. Proceed. Lyra attempts to climb a tree but falls to her death. That is pathetic. Oh my god. Oh man. I don't know. I guess Luxrays aren't really designed to be climbing trees. Burrowed is unable to start a fire, sleeps without warmth. How? She could anyway, it's fine. Marble destroys Batticle's supplies while he's asleep. Man, she gets up from exhaustion, I guess, just wants some supplies. Doesn't take them, just destroys them. She's really going off the rails here. Thea throws a knife into Natasha's chest. Oh my god. Red versus blue over here. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like that might have been an accidental, like, bad luck related death. But yeah, okay. So yeah, Sia's killed Natasha. Multipass dies from logic overload, and Lyra just falls out of a tree like an absolute idiot. So let's keep on going. Oh, there's some more stuff. Batical receives an explosion from an unknown sponsor. Who would do that? I guess that's probably pretty cool. That would liven things up. Marvel discovers a cave, just getting work done as usual, and Sia chases Burrett. Man, she's out for both of them. She's out for both Team God Killer, Team Kratos. All right, yeah. So, yeah, Lyra and Natasha. So I might just draw a couple of these just real quick. So let's get back in here. So, oh man. Yeah, so Sia killed Natasha with a knife, and Lyra fell out of a tree. Just because I want to draw Sia again. Haven't drawn her for a while. So I feel like it's like she's like probably wasn't even really paying attention. It kind of just happened. If she wanted to kill someone, she really wouldn't do it with a knife. It's been a while since I've drawn her. She's very like um, very pointy. And so is this brush. So that's okay. I feel like she's just like probably just like that I need this. He's gonna chuck this away, and yeah, she really threw the knife and then just happens to hit um, Chevka. How's her hair do again? It's like this. Is it? She's got it comes around the back and sort of comes down like this. And she's got this. Should have started off with this line a little thicker. Oh, if this isn't right, then I guess. In bits? I know mum's hair's like that. Like that's a very wrong. I'm just gonna real quick take a second to get this right. I just need to go over to page and have a look at how to draw my own character like an absolute numpty. Oh, okay, I was incredibly wrong. It's been like a couple of years since I drew this, so I mean, a lot of stuff happened since then. Yeah, how far can I go back? Oh man, the eye markings are even wrong. Is it even undoing anything? No, not really. Okay. But yeah, I guess I'll do the shawl neural flare question while I'm waiting for while I'm redoing this. So yeah, so excuse me, that's in reference to when Shaw first used the neural flare and he it was like a busted one that was only like partially working. It was like a 10%. And he used that, but he of course lost all of his memories of everything that happened before that. So he didn't really remember where that was. He and Lena, who was his sort of lab rat bodyguard back when he was an explosives expert, investigating a potential raccoon hidden base, which was actually a buried human mech from thousands and thousands of years ago, and found like the human mech was carrying a little shop with all the neural flares in there. And so Shaw went into one and it kind of messed him up real bad. And he used it and he ended up destroying it in the process, the one that he was using. And yeah, he never really made mention of it again, although he did keep that one. And that was sort of in his stuff. He had it in like before his main strider got destroyed by Ray when he gained the neural flare stuff. He still had it. It was kind of busted. So he did know where it was. And eventually he would have done this. He would have probably gone back and found it because he was one of the things he was paranoid about was that other people would find them as well and like gain more power than him. But yeah, so he probably didn't use it on Lena, not because he didn't know where they were, but because even though he loved her, he was still more paranoid that, you know, if she gained power from it, she would gain more power than him. And well, for one thing, she wouldn't remember him. So she, you know, he wouldn't want her to use a neural flare basically, even if it meant that she would die. Because she would, I guess what he reasoned would happen is that she would use the neural flare, gain powers. She's a lab rat. She would gain even more power than him, kind of what's happening with Marvel right now, and then use that power to not only not remember him, but probably just take the whole world back from him. And even though he loved her, he wouldn't want that to happen. So he probably knew the entire time that he could have saved her in that way, but he just chose not to. Because he is not a very nice person. So yes, he always knew they were there. But whether or not he just destroyed those ones or not, he might have done. No, it wasn't really specified. Because the one that he was going to use on himself, if he had to again, for any reason, the one on the moon, that wasn't one of the ones from where he used it originally. That was, he doesn't know exactly. He found it on the moon and sort of kept it powered and everything. But, but yeah. So, yeah, long story short, no, he probably. Yeah, he knew they were there. He had no intention of using them on Lena at all. So, yeah, I feel like she just, like, didn't need the knife, so she just, like, threw it away. What would she be wearing for this one? Usually, like, it's quite skimpy on the old outfits. Probably like, I don't know. Oh man, this one might run a little over. That's okay with people. I probably won't do. I'll probably just do this one and then do one more. I kind of spend a bit too much time on some of these pictures. And then Shevka in the chest. So let's see. Like, we should have a similar reaction to Ashes, probably. Kind of just like Russian anthro Ashes, I guess, if you think about it. So she'd be probably like more mouth, like, what? Where's that hair coming from? That's better. And those lines aren't going to make any kind of angle sense. So let's get rid of that. I'll put those back in when it is ready. So yeah, I feel like Natasha probably was like on her way to kill Sia with one of her several many weapons. But either subconsciously or whatever, Sia saw that coming and just like threw the knife away, and just by gosh darn bad luck on Natasha's part, that landed in a very unfortunate spot. Oh yeah, that's right. Draw a character that has the most complicated outfit in the one where I'm trying to do it pretty quick. That's okay. So, whoop, and yeah, I think she's in ponytail mode as we established last time. It's like, what? Would she hatch it? I feel like the size will like she just got them because they were there. I feel like her weapon of choice would still be the hatchet. I think an AI drew that hand. Not do that. Not much better, but a little better. The sleeves. Detail. And the knife. And see if we can do this. Yeah. And I'll just do a little quick multi-pass over here, just like fizzling out into non-existence. No scope of Leafy on. Muscle memory at this point. Just off in the bushes, considering the nature of reality. Error. Oh, I watched the Nomad episode recently, the original series episode. Pretty good. All right. Yes. So I'll just real quick jump back into chat and then keep going with the games. Bloop, 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 bloop. That's not a bad group for ghost stories, but the bad is just cackling. Lyra is crying in the corner. Yeah, that's absolutely true. I'd draw that if I had a bit more time. I might draw that off stream. Just the tributes, just Lyra then? Yeah, just they hunt for tribute. Just one. Oh well, I just stopped functioning. Good thing reanimation protocols got a buff, I guess. He's not a Necron. Or is he? Who threw that? Sia would do some pretty no-nonsense and murder, but also just kill people by accident, so either way, lol. Yeah, she's probably a mixture of both. Just tosses the knife over her shoulder, yeah. And one of my requests was actually Sia in Crystal Fox's outfit. That's from Star Fox Dinosaur Planet, that one outfit. Showing yeah, okay, cool. Well, yeah, keep that in mind for next time. Probably haven't got time for wait, a sketch request or this request. I don't know. Anyway, either way, probably not time for that one just now. Cool. All right, let's keep on going. Here we go. All right. So proceed. Nightfall. Marble climbs a tree to rest. Man, she's just doing all the tropes. Badical tends to his wounds. I guess he hurt himself telling ghost stories. Barrett and Sia run into each other and decide to truce for the night. Yeah, that would have been a very tense. Like they're both incredibly dangerous. So I'd say that's probably Sia was hunting Barrett, I think, and I guess the bad luck wasn't working on her for some reason. She's just too crafty. Sometimes it inexplicably doesn't work. Sia throws a knife into Barrett's chest. My God, I guess if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Marvel hunts for other tributes. You don't need to. Medical practices with art. Yeah, I'd love to see that. Golbat. No, what is he? A Crobat doing archery. All right, so I'm gonna. All right, I'll write a few down again. I haven't got a lot of time, but so Sia, Barrett, just if I have time, Batical, archery. All right, I'm just gonna keep going. Well, she did a pretty good job. She probably got a pretty good death toll. So not too bad. Marvel and Baddock run into each other and decide to truce for the night. Yeah, they're both archery champions now. See, accidentally steps on the landmine. No. Yeah, but bad luck works both ways. That's definitely established. You know, easy come, easy go, swings and roundabouts. You throw a couple of knives into people's chests, you step on a landmine. Yeah. Landmine. Badical falls into a frozen lake and drowns. Marble might win this. That is just prime. That's just typical. Yeah, Marble won! Oh my god! Unreal. She didn't kill anyone, but she won. Man, that is some protagonist energy right there. She she went off, practiced some archery, climbed a tree, found a cave. Um, what else? So was asleep from exhaustion, destroyed Badicle's supplies. Man, she did it all. That's incredible. Happy with that. Yeah, fantastic. Hey, Marble wins the first inaugural Kitfox character Hunger Games. I think we can all be. Oh, my God, couldn't have wrote that more generically myself. Pretty good. All right, so we've got 10 minutes. I'll just do a couple of things. Got to draw Marble, obviously. But we'll get rid of this and do things. If people don't mind, I might just go maybe 10 minutes over so I can do two of them. But yeah, okay. What'll save a little bit of time is if I just let's see, if I just duplicate this and then zoom in a little bit and then it's good for the Chevka, it's good for the Bart. I feel like she probably would be. Would she be surprised? Yeah, maybe. She wouldn't be angry, probably. She's like, no, how did this happen? I was so careful. Killed gods and everything, and then this. This how you do me, universe? So you can be as good of a scientist as you want. Sometimes a knife's gonna land in your chest. That's how the cookie crumbles. She would. Oh no, she would have had a bow and arrow, which she does have. I think she didn't pick one up this time, but I think she was doing a little attempted murder. Actually, maybe this happened. Maybe this actually happened like moments later, like because Barrett and Chevka were still working. That's disgusting. Barrett and Chevka were still working together, and they were sneaking up on Sia to kill her. But then she threw a knife, landed in Chevka's chest, threw her other knife that she found, landed in Barrett's chest in the space of like 1 second. Or maybe the same knife went through both of them. Yep. And yeah, she would be probably um, about to be shooting. See, yeah, they're probably going to do for a hatchet arrow combo. Since probably talking to Sia wouldn't get them very far. That tends to be the case with her, and Barrett probably knew that. Actually, I think Sia might, before she stepped on a landmine, she might have the biggest death toll. I think because you can go into the stats and like see how like what died and everything. Oh, oh, hold on. Did I accidentally press the wrong button? Can I go back? It normally you have like more than this for the winner. And when I did it last time, it had like stats and stuff of like who died and stuff like that. Maybe that didn't work because I copy and pasted the thing across. See if it does it after. Oh no, it does. Okay, yeah. So anyway, that's it. That's an aside. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, big old knife finding its mark. Yeah, save a bit of time here. Whoop, and yeah, she was reaching up for one of those arrows. And And then this happens. Cool. Right. And what was the other thing I was thinking of doing? Oh, the sea or land, man. I guess I better do that. So turn this one off, get another one. And then make sure I have both of these actually. Yeah, okay. And then this. I think that's kind of the perfect way for Sia to go out, honestly. Unlucky. How can this happen to me? I guess I haven't done like this kind of angle, I suppose, yet. She doesn't wear sleeves. She's never worn a sleeve in her life. Oh yeah, I forgot I was doing notes. All right. Now then, see, yeah. This way I'll just be drawing a picture of Marvel, so with a bow and arrow and everything else. So we'll just get a couple more questions. What part of the neural flare is detected by humans or whoever is listening to it? The change of DNA, or is it the infusion of tech? I doubt the knowledge upload, since that's basically like transferring a hard drive over. Any plans to submit some of the stream sketches to DA? Um, okay. So the part of the neural flare that, yeah, so again, feel free to head out, people, if you need to, but I'm probably just going to go about 5 minutes over on this one, so sorry about that. But yeah, I guess I'll do the second one question first because that's easier. Yeah, maybe. I mean, they're kind of like nichey, and like the main reason that I don't is because sometimes they're a little spoilery, I guess. Although the actual streams themselves are pretty, even more spoilery, and I sometimes put links up like that. But like, of course, people on Dia haven't really got access to the most recent pages. I kind of don't want to spoil them with some things that might be on there that they don't want to look at yet or anything like that. Is this would be, I guess this would be like pre Flare Marvel actually, but yeah, I could put some sketches over there. Though I do like to have things that are like just for you guys, like just the radical people who kind of help me, do this and stay with me in this stupid nonsense like this, and they're kind of meaning that actually can perhaps do this for more than just mucking around. So I like to have a lot of things that are like just on the Patreon that probably never go to DA. So this probably will be one of those things. Let's see. So she'd probably definitely have her like archer kind of pose on this one. If I was doing this properly, I would look up an archer's pose, but I'm trying to do this pretty quick, so I won't bother. That's precious seconds I don't got. And what part of the neural flare do the humans detect? Yeah, so I think that's in reference to the end of the first In Our Shadow comic, where the humans sort of not the end, it's sort of in the middle. Amethyst sort of reads a readout when they're on the moon after Bray uses the neural flare, and it finds out, doesn't tell anyone at that point, but does find out eventually that the humans are coming back, and they were brought here because the neural flare had been activated, and they don't want anything to do with that because, well, they don't think that should happen because that's the path to destruction and doom and gloom and everything going bad, like it did for the humans and the apes. So, and the humans tried to come back and kill the apes, but they couldn't. Um, yeah, so the bit that's detected by it. So yeah, a few options. So like the output, the whatever. Probably probably like the yeah, I haven't really thought about that. So behind the curtain, this is probably something that's going to be it'll be canon, but it's something I haven't thought about before. But let's see. Let's say that the neural flares have got like a registration signature or something because they were just like a commodity and it was something that anyone could just buy. So the company that made them, Babel Earn, probably wanted to keep track of when they were being activated, what they're being used for, just a bit of like metadata kind of stuff on that sort of thing. So those company stats kind of even because that wouldn't have been that long ago as far as the adverse humans are aware. So the company records of like these things would have been informed through like internet or whatever when the neural flares were being activated. But they probably just send out like a because the internet wasn't really a thing in like the latest stages of humanity, not in the way that is now. They probably had their own independent kind of system. And when the humans left the Earth, they probably let's see, post or pre oh yeah, it's a pre-flare level. Um they would have like linked that up to like a maybe like a relay satellite on their like in orbit around to kind of pick it up. So yeah, they're probably using their like the sort of stored information of the sort of the serial numbers and when they get activated by the people um, who buy them. Love this. That's fine. Back the hair's a little. Anyway, I haven't got time. When I rush myself too much and it's coming together. Yeah. I think I was too distracted by trying to think about how that works and also how you hold a. Okay. Yeah, I just have to do a little thinking. Yeah, I think that's how you do. That's how you can do. Yeah, so I guess you'd have like a bunch of sort of suppliers and stuff like that. So yeah, I guess to answer that question, yeah, signal sent off by like an old company serial registration like thing that was designed to um, tell the company when people are using them, what they're using them for, just to get a bit of data, that sort of stuff, and then yeah, repurposed into something that can locate the neural flares when they get used, even thousands of years later. So yeah, she's definitely probably got like this sort of stuff. I don't like this face. Maybe too picky since I haven't got a lot of time, but maybe I can make this a little. Yeah, I think it's a little shorter. She's not like that's too short. Yeah, it's been a little while since I've done one of these streams, so I'm still kind of getting my head back in the game. Digital art wise, that's better. The hair's freaking huge. I'm used to drawing her like post flared form, and I forget what the difference is, but this is much shorter. Yeah, and then I guess yeah, she'd like be she what did she do? She destroyed supplies. She found some stuff, so I think she's probably got like really kind of grabbed some things here and cornucopia for a bit. She's got some stuff. She has this, and I guess we'll do like a kneeling pose. Yeah, she never used the bow and arrow or anything like that, but she certainly got some practice in. So in the sequel, she'll probably be back, ready to do some more not killing and just reap the benefits. Honestly, that's the best. That's the best way to do it. That's what I would do. And I think I've heard that is what somebody does later, which seems pretty obvious. Just go hide in a cave, which apparently she did. She found that cave. Just hide in there till everyone else is dead, and then wait for the last person who's still alive to step on a landmine. And I think you. I think that's the strategy. I think that's what I would do. So yeah, this is all like that. I don't know what they do in the actual movies. Actually, just doing this kind of makes me want to watch them. But I think I'm well past that in terms of my demo and oh, I certainly maybe. But yeah, here's winner of the Hunger Games, Marble, absolute legend. Did it without killing anybody, and fully ready for round two. See if you can be as lucky that time. So that's that. So I'll just jump into chat real quick for some last kind of stuff. Oh, before I do that, I think I'll just slightly fix this up. I think I might just cheat it a little bit and cover this arm with like a bit of the cloak. If in doubt, put it under a cloak. That's what I always say. And I guess this one, maybe bring that down a little as well. Little as well. Sure to be sure. Yeah, I guess she's got mind reading power. She's got access to rat technology. She'd do a pretty good job of just like kind of knowing what was going to happen or staying out of people's way and that kind of thing. But yeah, just because she had the archery, I assume she did archery practice even though she didn't have a bow. Maybe that's why it was so exhausting and she got exhausted on the next day. Difficult to just pantomime the whole thing, like working against a green screen. But yeah, here she is. And yeah, everyone goes wild. So yeah, let's jump back into chat and see where I left off. Blah, 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 blah. Birds ghosting serves you right. Oh, when Sia dies. Yeah, okay. Again, yeah, this is taking even longer, but how quickly can I? Ghost. Plot armor, yes. Somehow I can see her walking off after killing Barrett, clapping her hands in satisfaction. Just hear that telltale mind click. Yes. Did she even kill anyone? She didn't. Pacifism prevails. Woo, someone call Seed so we can stop panic attacking. He won't. He'll try. Only 1.5 questions left. Oh, on the list. Yep. Oh, well, we're over time. I'll get him next time. Actually, I did say she did kill someone. Oh, I'll have a look. Surprised Noel didn't kill her in an Indigo Montoya moment. Not sure about that reference. She was about to attack first and then knife to chest, yes. But knowing Sia, it bounced off one and into the other. Yeah, probably. Actually, that's a good point. I might re-edit that. Multipass's last words are double kill. Yep. Summary? Yeah, I'll get to the summary. Maybe a scene where Horoscope... See, Horoscope's very cute, calling it tackle him and then clothes are flying through the air. Yes, if I had more time, maybe. Maybe next time as well. Maybe that'll be like the opening screen, just apropos of nothing for the next stream. I mean, Barrett's pretty opportunistic. It's not the most extreme thing she's ever done to win. Absolutely not. Probably just non-spoilery ones. Yeah, well, they should pay up for the goodies then. Hey, your interesting stories are very welcome, and I was stuck in the hospital, so I'm glad we can support you going full time. Thank you very much. Appreciate it massively, and yeah, dream come true if it does. But if it doesn't, I understand. That's fine. I've kind of given Arthur one that he repurposed as an encyclopedia and just uploads that knowledge into his new body to make sure it is all preserved. Yeah, you just modified a Neuroflare a little bit, you could probably make it do that. Which is hunted. Hey, being a survivalist doesn't mean being a killer, just being really clever and staying cool and hunkered down. Yeah, and it means she doesn't have to eventually die because she killed someone. Oh, hey, wearing up as a Wanderer set. Oh, yeah, basically. I guess that's my default Wanderer outfit. Saw my recent Patreon request. I didn't, but I'll have a look in a bit. You already got all the questions. Oh, good. I did. Cool. Princess Bride is your Indigo. Oh God, yes, I just watched Princess Bride. So yes, of course, yes. You could live prefer to die. Yes, of course. Yeah, I did watch it. It's pretty good. I think you had to be there as a kid to fully get it. It's okay. I didn't love it as much as everyone else I know loves it. Horace and Barry hitting off was kind of fun, yeah, for like the 10 hours that was the case. So let's just real quick, last thing, and then I'll let you all get out of here. Oh, I didn't drink any water. Hold on, I sound like sound like Bonnie Tyler at the end of Total Eclipse of the Heart. Okay. Let's go to the summary real quick. What? What? Oh yeah. So that's all that. Don't need any of that stuff. Let's go proceed. I just want to see the deaths and everything. Okay, placements. Marble 1, Batical 2, Sia number 3, Barrett 4, Natasha 5, and yeah, the top 5. That's pretty cool. I think that's actually I couldn't have hoped for a better like list of murderers and one non-murderer who eventually came out on top. That's pretty cool. Um, and then let's go over to the kills. I'll go to the stats. I think that's where you can also get the kills. But okay, kills. Horace 3, Sia 3, Barrett 3. And then a bunch of people got 1. So yeah, Horace, Sia, and Barrett tied for 3 kills each. Pretty cool. Yeah, sounds good. Sobek Marble. Wait, what? Marble did kill someone? Natasha Diddle Batical. Who did Marble kill? I don't remember. I wonder if it. Oh, if someone remembers, let me know. But yeah, so that's it. Thanks very much for sticking with me for this weird thing. Hope it was a little bit of fun. I had a lot of fun doing it and a lot of fun drawing all the characters. Yeah, let me know if you want me to do it again. Otherwise, it'll just be a one-off thing. Maybe I could do something else that's a little similar using my characters. But yeah, next time, barring that, we'll get back to the usual answering questions and drawing listener suggestions. But yeah, thanks again so much for your support. And yeah, if there's anyone else who you think you might like to, support me, read my stuff or whatever, let them know. That would be great. Otherwise, yeah, it means so much to have you guys around and follow me along for all this stupid stuff. But yeah, one else will look at the chat and oh, Marble had 1 kill. Yeah, weird. I don't know when that was. Um, uh, can only help with the deep instruments of voice to lay off the water. Yes, I won't do it just in case it doesn't sound like that anymore. And it was just some weird like planets aligning. But yeah, they definitely can't hurt. Loved it. Was fun. Good. Bye, Angel. I mean, I'll see you in 10 minutes. But yeah, thanks again, everybody. And sorry, we went a bit over time this time, but that's how it be sometime. You gotta see the murders to their finish. Oh, thanks so much. Glad I made one finally. Yeah, great to see you finally here, even though it was one that wasn't exactly normal. And yeah, thanks for everyone else who showed up. But yeah, once again, see you next time. As for when the next stream will be, probably in about 2 or 3 weeks. Blood for the Blood God. See you next time. May something forever in your favor. Bye.